Hey there folks, today I'm coming to you with a video supplement to my written review on this fantastic Maelstrom X10 Tactical Flashlight. Now as I talk about in my written review, I'm really pleased with the Maelstrom X10 because I think it does a really good job of being a true tactical flashlight. Now what do I mean by that? The Maelstrom X10 is very simple in operation, which is what you really want for a tactical flashlight. It doesn't try to have a lot of features and do a lot of different things. It's designed really for military, law enforcement, or personal home defense use. Really in a tactical engagement kind of scenario. The tail cap activation switch here, which I'm touching with my thumb, is an instant on, which means that when you press it, when you apply pressure to it, it comes on. When you release that pressure, it goes off. It will not click down, that button, no matter how much pressure you put on it, and that's a good thing. In a tactical situation, typically you're going to have, when you're using this with a handgun, there's a number of different ways to use a flashlight with a handgun, but one of the most preferred out there is to hold the gun in the strong hand and kind of come behind your hand with the flashlight and support it. It's kind of hard to show on camera here. But basically you would raise the firearm in the direction of your target, light comes on, you find your target, you take your requisite number of shots, and then you get that off. You turn that light off and you move because in the flashlight, the light from the flashlight has probably given away your position, and if your assailant or your target can return fire, he's going to fire in the direction of that light. So again, the idea is to get the light on, take the requisite number of shots, get the light off, and move. Now, as I talk about in the written review, under stress, you're probably experiencing both auditory and visual exclusion. You're panicked. The heart's racing. You don't want to have a lot of extra steps. Now here's a TK12, a Phoenix TK12 that I'm bringing in kind of for a size comparison, but also to show you why I feel the X10 here is a much better light than the Phoenix TK12 is for a tactical scenario. Now the TK12 does have an instant on feature here. You can depress that tail cap and it's an instant on. But if you continue to apply a pressure to the tail switch, you can hear it clicks on. It does click out and click on. And that's bad because, again, going back to your body's stress reaction, you're not going to be lightly pressing this flashlight if you feel your life is threatened. You're going to be pressing it hard. The light comes on, it stays on. Now you've taken your shots. Now you've got to remember to turn the flashlight off. You've got to fool around with the button. That's something you don't want to have to do. You want something that is very, very simple in operation in a tactical scenario. That's why something like the Maelstrom X10 is so good in a tactical scenario. Again, just by way of comparison, I'll just kind of show you the head size. The X10 has a really massive light head there. You can probably see, like the TK12 here, it's got a very smooth reflector dish in it. And it's a good size. It's pretty chunky. It's not something you're going to be dropping real easily because of its diminutive size. It's a good beefy light that you're going to hang on to. And if you are in a situation where you have to defend yourself with just the light, it's certainly heavy enough. It's extremely heavy. It's heavy enough to deliver some serious blunt force trauma if necessary. So really good tactical light. Now, the reason why more flashlight makers don't design flashlights like this, in my opinion, is because they want a light that has a lot of different functions, so that they have, you know, a much broader market base to sell to. You know, the TK12 has lots of twist functions to get SOS and strobe effects. You don't really need a lot of different settings in a tactical flashlight. My personal preference for a tactical flashlight would be that it just has, you know, two settings really, on and off. That's activated by a pressure switch like this with an instant on feature. Now this Maelstrom X10 does indeed have two light settings. Here's the brightest setting. If you go on and off with that within 1 second, it kicks down from the normal 640 lumen output mode down to 100 lumens. So again, if you hit that switch within a 1 second time frame, you switch back up or to the other mode, as it were. So we're in 640 lumen mode now. Now we're in 100 lumen mode. And that's okay. In theory, I don't have a problem with that. The way it's set up now with those two settings. And the reason why is because more than likely, again, in that scenario where you're in a tactical situation, you're in the dark and you go to take your shot, light comes on, take the requisite number of shots, light goes off, and I'm moving. I'm getting out of the way because the flashlight's given away my position. So it's very unlikely that I would turn the flashlight on again within a 1 second time frame. So I'm okay with that, and having the 100 lumen mode gives you, some extended battery life if you do need to use this in a search capacity. Runtime on this in the low mode, the 100 lumen output is 15 hours, which is pretty impressive. In high mode, in the 640 lumen mode, you're only going to get about 1.8 hours. Again, for the purpose and use of this light, you're probably going to have it on only a few seconds. So, 1.8 hour runtime is in the high mode is perfectly fine in my scenario. Is this a light that I'm going to use to get me around the house? Is this a light that I'm going to take to use camping? No, this is a very narrow use flashlight in my opinion. Again, I think it's geared for military, law enforcement, and home defense purposes. And I think it's very well suited for those roles, probably more well suited than any other flashlight that I've personally handled, simply because it's designed to be very simple to use, which is a tremendous asset when you're under stress. Okay, what I'm going to go ahead and do now is roll in some beam test footage, and we'll talk about more about the properties of the light output from this flashlight. Okay, folks, we're here in my home theater, and I'm using my 108-inch white screen here to do some beam tests. First of all, I'm going to go ahead and bring up again the TK12. Here you can see, it's documented, very well documented in terms of the output that this produces. But here's the 640 lumen Maelstrom X10 in comparison. So you can see, it just dwarfs it in terms of output. It's really amazing. What I find really fascinating about the beam properties here, I'll go ahead and kick it down to 100 lumen mode where you can see. What I find amazing, again, this uses a Cree XML LED, and what I find so amazing about this light is that when you do have it in the high output mode, the 640 lumen mode, you not only get that really crisp, clear, and very strong hotspot, but you also get just a tremendous amount of spill from this light. I mean, it's going to just fill up all the corners of the room. Again, if you use this in a tactical scenario and you're sweeping a room, the bad guys aren't going to be able to hide in the shadows in the corner because there's not going to be any shadows when this is on in the high output mode. It just puts out a tremendous amount of light. Again, here I'm going to bring in the TK12, and it just there's no comparison to the output here. It really is amazing. And now you are going to see that the TK12 does have a more blue, white blue look, typical of the XML emitters. This one's kind of got a greenish, yellowish hue to the light. I know a lot of flashlight aficionados get really bent around the axle in terms of the color of the light that a flashlight produces. Again, this is a tactical flashlight. This is a tool to save somebody's life. I don't care what color the light is myself. I just want something that's going to help save my life. So there's some beam tests. Hopefully this gives you some another valuable data point as you do your research on this particular flashlight. Okay, we're back in the studio here. As I'm wrapping up the video portion of my review of the Maelstrom X10 Tactical Flashlight. Again, home run, 4Sevens. Kudos to you for having the bravery, the guts to produce a flashlight which was really pretty limited in the way it's intended to be used, and there's kind of a narrow market out there for something like this. But I'm completely impressed. I've been looking for a purely tactical flashlight for quite a while and haven't found one that truly fit my needs, and this one just hits a home run. Love that the lithium-ion rechargeable battery that it uses. It's going to be very reliable from that standpoint. That Cree XML, the tremendous output, the high output on this thing, is going to easily do the job in a tactical situation. You hit somebody in the eyes with 640 lumens, and any night vision that they've had is going to be obliterated, and they're going to be seeing hot spots. So that's going to greatly diminish their ability to assail you. The low output mode, 100 lumens, I particularly don't find it necessary in this light. I would have been just as satisfied if it had one output, but I think a lot of people will find it handy, and I think in theory that low mode won't interfere with the tactical operation of this light, so I don't really have a problem. And I understand why Maelstrom did that. Try to give it a little broader appeal and give it a little bit more utility than such the narrow use of a true tactical usage. But again, home run, really like it. This model was sent to me to test, but I can tell you it's not getting sent back to 4Sevens. I'm keeping this light because this is exactly the kind of tactical flashlight that I've been looking for. Hope you enjoyed this review. Please subscribe to this channel. We're going to be doing a lot more reviews of tactical gear, like tactical flashlights, and all kinds of stuff here on the Watch Talk Forums channel. So again, please subscribe, and please leave comments. Let me know what you think, and do look in the description on the first line there. You'll find a link to the written review if you just found this on a YouTube search. Take care, God bless, and we'll see you in the next video.